Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. We are continuing with the summaries of 6th class English, and so far we have completed up to Unit 6 and we are heading into Unit 7 here. That is reading A. P.T Usha, the Golden Girl. So most of the students and aspirants know the life and achievements of P.T Usha, but in this lesson we will go a bit deeper to know her childhood, okay, her training, the efforts that she made, all the childhood things that she made to achieve the best in her life. So before getting into the text, you can see that we have completed 6 units so far, with each having 3 readings, and all these units are in our playlists. So those who want to go through all these explanations, reading explanations, you can go to the playlist of 6th class, and there you will find out all these 6 units videos explanation there. And those who still did not subscribe to our channel Kiran's English Hub, please do subscribe it. And we have started the Facebook page with the name Kiran's English Hub, with the same name. So those guys who want to go through the Facebook explanation videos, you can even go through them. And please don't forget to share our videos and subscribe our YouTube channel and like the videos. Let us get into the text here. You can see the title here, P.T Usha, the Golden Girl. And I'm still getting the comments like please increase your volume, please increase your volume. And I have been telling that I am recording these classes with very simple gadgets. I am not using any high-tech audio quality gadgets here, so please do use your headset. The audio is very clear, but in sound it is a bit low, so please use your headset. It is not simply audible without the headset. You cannot listen to it very clearly. So my suggestion is to you to use the headset, and so you can understand very well. And here we can see the title, P.T Usha, the Golden Girl. So why she is called as the Golden Girl? What is the reason? Okay, at the end of this text we will know that. Look at this picture here and discuss the questions that follow. You can just see the speed that she is making on the track here. Okay, and here we go. Which sport is shown in the picture? Okay, what is this sport? Okay, this is running. Okay, the sprinting you can call it. And next one, which game or sport do you play? Okay, this is like the kids activity here, so you can answer on your own. So you can just give the names of your favorite games here. Next, what are the differences between sports and games? Okay, so I think you guys know that there is a slight bit difference between sports and games. So we have a little bit of difference, like games can be which are not physically involved, like board games, dice games, skill games. Okay, all these which are not involved with the physical, with the physique of the opponent. So that is called as the games. And sports can be like baseball, boxing, golf, football, cricket. Okay, where you have to restrict the opponent to score more. Okay, so that is the very minor difference, so you guys can go through it later. Next, we have oral discourse here. Talk on why sports and games are important for children. So usually in the schools, colleges, even in the universities, there are some periods specifically for these physical activities, for sports and games. Why? Okay, so usually we say that sports, I mean the physical activity and the mental activity, the education, should both go hand in hand. In the sense, they must be given the equal priority, both education and the physical events like games and sports. So when a child or a boy or a student is capable physically and mentally, when he is capable of giving his best, then he can achieve more in his life. Okay, so that is the reason why sports and games are important for children. Next, here we go, reading A, and here we see the picture of P.T Usha, and the first stanza here in this lesson is very, very, very important. So look at this stanza here. I'm zooming in a bit. So P.T Usha, this was the address on a letter from the Middle East. Okay, so there was an address, there was a letter from the Middle East, okay, from the eastern country. The title was P.T Usha, India. See, if you are writing a letter to someone, what do? We write their name, write their mother name or father name, okay, and or the caretaker name, their door number, their house number, their area name, village name, all these things, right? Mandal name, district name, pin code, okay, state, all these things. But there was a letter from the Middle East, and the address on that Middle East, on that letter from the Middle East, is P.T Usha, India. That's it. There is no father name, no son of, no daughter of, okay, no house number, no state, because in India we have so many states, okay, no district, nothing, no pin code. The simple address was P.T Usha, India. The letter was delivered by the postal department with no delay whatsoever. So why did they mention with no delay? Because usually if there is only name and a country name, the person name and the country name, postal department wouldn't know where to deliver it, right? But postal department clearly know that P.T Usha is so and so, the athlete, and we have to deliver that to that athlete. So they know where this letter has to go. So without any delay, though there was no postal code number, there was no district, no state, though all the address is not mentioned, the letter was delivered very deliberately to the the athlete P.T Usha. So this was the status of Pilavulakandi Tekkaperembil Usha. What is her full name? So you can see here, Pilavulakandi Tekkaperembil. This is a Tamil name. She is from Tamil Nadu, right? So sorry, she is from Kerala. So usually their names are a bit difficult to pronounce. Okay, you can practice twice, thrice if you want to pronounce it clearly. So this was the status of P.T Usha, right? So she was very famous. Just with this small example, we can know how famous she is, in the whole India, right? So that is why, if though there was no address, nothing, the letter was delivered very directly to the this athlete P.T Usha. So this was the status of this lady. So she was born as the second daughter of Paital and Lakshmi Amma. So Paital was her father name and Lakshmi Amma was her mother name. She was born on 20th May 1964 in the village of Payoli, Kozhikode district, Kerala. Okay, there is a district in Kerala state, that is Kozhikode. In that Kozhikode district, the village name is Payoli, and this P.T Usha was born there. It was November 1973 when a dedicated physical education teacher called Balakrishnan discovered Usha while conversing with a parent. His eyes, ever watchful, kept drifting to a group of small girls playing blindsman's bluff just across the field. So I know that in the first paragraph that was a little bit about her, and when we go to the second paragraph here, we see the biography of this P.T Usha, okay, which was in the year 1973 when a dedicated physical education teacher Balakrishnan, okay, her PT name is Balakrishnan, so he discovered the talent of P.T Usha while this man was conversing with a parent. Okay, so just he was having a conversation with the parent standing aside in the ground, and when he was conversing, he found out something awful, something different, as the greatness of P.T Usha there. So with that small sight, with that small a type of the discovery of greatness, the career of P.T Usha was started. So this P.T Usha, this little girl, she was playing blind man's bluff. Okay, that is the small game usually, blindfolding the eyes and playing. That was like police or chore. Okay, or जैसा game होता है ना वो जैसा. So next one. So was there a pair of feet that were moving extraordinarily fast? Was the tiny dark girl in her blue skirt and while blouse moving like an instinctive athlete? Patient as ever, Balakrishnan waited for the game to be over. Calling the little girl, he gently inquired of her, "What is your name, child?" So while this Balakrishnan was having a conversation with the parent, he saw this girl, and he kept on seeing this girl and without moving from there, because her legs, her movement, it was fantastic. She was completely moving extraordinarily. Okay, usually it is very important to move very fast in this blind man's bluff game. So this little girl was moving very fast. There is some sort of the fastness in her legs. So he found out that, and he thought to himself, is this girl going to be a great athlete? Okay, is this girl having a different or unique talent? So he thought all these questions to himself, and finally when the game was over, he called the little girl and he gently inquired of her, "What is your name, child?" The shy little girl hardly raised her eyes from the ground. "Usha," she whispered, and added, "from class 4. Okay, so when was this? When she was in the class 4, Balakrishnan found that there is some talent in this girl. So when the game was over, he called that girl and he asked, "What is your name?" And you know how shy she was? She couldn't even raise her eyes from the ground. She was so afraid, she was so shy, that's why she couldn't raise her head. Okay, so here the shy little girl hardly raised. What do you mean by hardly raised? Hardly raised in the sense she didn't even raise her head properly. Okay, so she said, "Usha." Okay, so what do you mean by whispering? Okay, whispering in the sense speaking very softly, very slowly. Okay, and she also added that she is from class 4. Thus was made one of the greatest discoveries in the athletic arena of Asia, a simple question from an observant master and an equally unamusing answer from a tiny village girl from a distant village in Malabar in Kerala. Okay, so this little question, "What is your name, child?" started a great relationship of the master and the student between Balakrishnan and P.T Usha. And with this small question, they started doing marvelous things, and she has become the greatest girl of whole Asia, and he has become very famous person, the trainer, the coach, later when she became successful. And we can also see that she is from a very tiny village, from a distant village in Malabar district in Kerala. So the same evening, on that same day, at 4:15 p.m., Usha heard the magical words from for the first time in her life. Okay, so when this thing was going on, this blind man's bluff was going on, in the same evening there were some sports and there were some games, and there in the evening at 4:15 p.m., Usha heard the magical words. What are the magical words for her? Let us see. "On your mark, get set, go." These are three little phrases which are completely magical for Usha. They are so important that we can see them, they are in the bold style. Okay, so we can see them that these three little phrases are different from the rest of the letters because they are important. Okay, so the master had explained to her what to do and why. Confused, but very much aware of the seriousness of the occasion, she ran for her life. The rest is history. Okay, so what happened was on that evening, so Balakrishnan, might inspired, okay, might ask the little girl to participate in the running race. So he brought that girl, and he said what to do and why. Okay, so he just explained her how to run. He didn't even give her practice. He didn't even spend a lot of time in giving her all the things needed to run very good. He just said you do like this, because when we tell something to the children, they're they can observe these little things very fast. So this little girl understood what he said. She observed, okay, what the master has said, and immediately she participated in the game. And she was a bit confused because that was the first race, but that is the greatest race of her life, because that little race started changing her whole life. Okay, so confused but very much aware of the seriousness of the occasion. The occasion was running, right? So that was very serious. So children usually run take part participation in almost all the events, so that is very important. So she finally ran for her life. Here, ran for her life in a sense, she finally ran very successfully. She might have scored first rank in that, and finally with that little running race in her school, she started to become the world champion. So the rest is history. Okay, so after that race, whatever that happened was like history. In 1975, Usha was 11 years old and was practicing vigorously for the sub-junior district meet, her first ever. Okay, so the practice was going on. Balakrishnan, he was being very good master or mentor to P.T Usha. He started giving her more and more practice, and at the age of 11 years in 1975, she was practicing vigorously. Okay, vigorously in the sense continuously, without any hesitance, without any stop, without any pause. She was completely focused on racing and all. So she has to run there for the sub junior district meet. This was her first meet ever, like outside her village or outside our school. That was the first race. So with 3 days to go, Usha badly injured her heel while practicing for the long jump. Okay, so here we should understand that Usha was not only the athlete in running race, but she also had very good talent in doing some other things like a long jump, high jump also. Okay, so we can see that there was 3 days left for this practice, for this race. Before the 3 days, she injured her heel, which is very important to run. So that was injured while she was practicing for the long jump. So the day of the event, all eyes were on her. She was so puny. Okay, what do you mean puny? Okay, puny in the sense she was so small. Okay, so unbelievably tiny that she was the crowd's favorite even before the race started. Okay, so the day has come for the sub junior district meet. This was her first meet ever. She is injured, and another thing is she was so small among all the participants. So since she was so small, all the the people who came there to watch had very they had all their concentration on her. Everybody was so happy, and she had been the favorite of the crowd. Okay, since she was so small, so everybody started appreciating her, clap for her, praising her. Okay, before the race could start, everybody started being so favor to her. So a white bandage on her heel won her even more sympathy. See, since she was hurt because of the long jump, her heel was hurt. So see, first thing is she is so small, right? So everybody started liking her before the race could start. And second thing is the bandage, the white bandage on her heel, even gave more sympathy to her. Okay, so usually we see in the movies, like if anybody get hurt, okay, fine, but if anybody is still injured and still if they start playing, see, we give more sympathy to that guys, right? Usually heroes are like that. So here this PT Usha had been the hero of that race. So she came first in all the 4 events she participated in: 100, 200, long jump and high jump. See, the first thing is she is not good. her heel was not good. Okay, she was not at all comfortable to run. Okay, but even though she started running before the event could start, she was the favorite of all the crowd, and what she did was tremendous. She won all the races: 100, 200, long jump, and also high jump. So she was able to do even all these other things like long jump and high jump also. She was also the third individual champion at the meet. Okay, she was also the third individual champion. Usually the prizes are given for the like in the cricket we have man of the match, man of the series is. Okay, just like she was the like the girl of that meet, so she won the third prize. Like she was also the individual champion. Actually, she was the individual champion in that meet. Okay, so the people who win multiple games in particular meet are given individual championship. Okay, so P.T Usha got that championship in that particular meet. Next, academically Usha was an extremely bright student, even academically. So usually we see many people who focus on the games and sports, and they don't focus very much on their education, on their academics. But here Usha is completely focused. She was also very bright student even in the academics. Okay, besides the sports, she was always amongst the top 3 in her class and was popular with her teachers. Okay, so she was always getting like first, second, or third ranks in the class, and she was also very much popular with the teachers. She passed her standard 7th exams with the first grade. Just then, the government of Kerala announced a separate sports division for girls at Kannur, a town with special facilities for sports in addition to regular studies. So, soon after the completion of 7th class examinations, she got the first grade, and after that, the Kerala government has announced separate sports school, separate sports school for the girls. Okay, apart from the regular studies. Okay, so along with the regular studies, the girls can focus on the sports specially. So that was like a very good fruit to her, like a golden fruit to her. Okay, so it was very supportive for her. So Usha joined the sports division at Kannur to improve her sports talent. So immediately soon after the government has given that established that school, she immediately joined there, and she was left in the safe hands of C.H. Paithal, the headmaster of the school. Okay, so the headmaster of the school is was C.H. Paithal. Okay, so she was given all the care. She was taken care of. She was taken care by this particular headmaster, and it was at Kannur that another great master fired her imagination so much that together they achieved impossible. His name was Madhavan Nambayar. Okay, so at sports school there was another PET, the master. Okay, the sports master, his name was Madhavan Nambayar. Okay, so with this guy she started to with the help of this master she started to focus more, train more, and achieve more. So by 1977, Usha and Nambayar were inseparable in the sense she was best in everything, and she was best to Nambayar, and Nambayar was very best one, the best master to Usha. Okay, so their journey was tremendous. Okay, so just like nowadays we see this the Olympic champion PV Sindhu, right? And we see Gopichand. So see how their journey as a student and master has been for a couple of years. So just like that, this P.T Usha's and the Nambayar's, the Madhavan's journey was very good. So Nambayar had found the ward he had been waiting for all his life, and Usha had found her guru. Okay, so Nambayar has been waiting very eagerly for the best student in his life, and as well as Usha was also waiting for the best master to give her more practice. So as soon as they met in that sports school, that was their dream has come true. They have found their best ones. So Nambayar would from now on care for her like a father, and Usha's meticulous systematic training began in earnest. Okay, so even Number also started to take care of like a father. She was so small girl, right, in her 8th class. So even Usha also started to practice more, okay, in a systematic way, in a proper way, because having ran in that local schools districts is different from running or taking participation in the national events. So to participate in the national events, students, they need more practice, more support, and more guidance. So all that things were given by the trainer Madhavan Namber. Usha had a regular training run on the beach of Payoli. Okay, so there is a beach even now in Kerala. The beach name is Payoli. Okay, so Usha used to take practice in the beach Payoli. She preferred to be trained alone, for the vastness of beach gave her a sense of freedom. She ran joyfully and freely, and she derived her strength from the serenity and peace of her beloved Kerala surroundings. See, Usha also, she loved to be trained alone. Okay, so she doesn't want everyone to be seen while she was practicing. She doesn't want to be known by others. She just want to practice alone, and she was also experiencing, or having a joyful training while she was taking training, because all the surroundings were very familiar to her. The Kerala season, the water, the sun, the weather, everything was comfortable. So her training was very good. And especially here you can see that she used to train on the beach of Paioli. Why? See, most of the athletes, they practice on the sand. Okay, I will explain you after this sentence here. Number had introduced is sand training in her program to enhance her performance in the athletics. See here, this is very important sentence. Why? We see nowadays most of the athletes, okay, the sprinters, the runners, they practice on the beaches, sand beaches. Why? See, usually when you step on the sand, it drags you back. You just try on walking on the sand. What it does is it just pulls you back. If you step on a particular place, usually your leg comes back like 1 to 3 inches back. Okay, usually that thing happens. But uh, when you practice in the sand, when you practice the running in the sand, and if you are achieving perfection within the time, okay, within the time, for example, if you have to run 100 meters race for 13 seconds, and if you practice that the same in the sand, okay, then you are going to do the miracles. Okay, because in the sand usually drags you back, and even though though it drags you back, if you run more faster, then on the ground, on the actual track of that running, you can run more faster. Okay, that actually happens to the athletes. So that is why they take practice in the sands. Even you can see Usain Bolt, even that guy, he runs on the beach, and besides running on the beach, he even ties uh, the car tire, which is usually a bit heavier. Okay, so he ties that one with a thread to his waist. Okay, so with that uh, thing on his back, he runs, and he runs within the time. So when we practice like that on the tracks, on the original tracks in the events, we can run more faster. Okay, so just after in the 1982 New Delhi Asian Games. Okay, so she was preparing for these Asian Games, and the Asian Games were in the 1982. So sand training had enhanced the performance of many great athletes, from Edwin Moses to top flight Indian athletes like Milka Singh and Sri Ram Singh. So this sand training is very important. So all these great people, the great runners like Edwin Moses, okay, that the top athlete Milka Singh. I think you have seen watched the movie Milka Singh, right? So I hope you watch it. It is very nice movie. And one more thing is Sri Ram Singh. Okay, another great runner, great sprinter Sriram Singh. These people, all these great athletes, they used to take training on the sand, okay, to improve their running very fast. They used to take training in the sand. That is very important. Next, Usha's athletic achievements are well known to almost all Indians. So almost all the Indians know about this. The great athlete. Two silver medals in the 1982 New Delhi Asian Games, fourth place in the 400 meter at the 1984 Jakarta Asian Meet, and four golds and one silver at the 1986 Asian Games in Seoul. Okay, you can just see her achievements here. Okay, she has got gold, she has got silver medals, and she has won many other medals. You can simply see, you cannot even count them: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21. Okay, just with my eyes in this photo I am able to see 21 medals, but there are more which are here. Okay, we cannot actually see them properly. So she has won these many top medals in all these top events. So P.T Usha's story is that of a gifted girl from humble origins achieving international success through her shared dedication and immense hard work. So we can see that though she is from the rural background, this gifted child and this humble child has become famous all around the globe, and this was successful only because of with the immense, okay, what my immense here, the continuous, the great hard work that she had done has resulted in giving the best results. And never in the history of independent India as a youngster from a remote background town of rural origin caught the imagination of youth in particular and the public in general, as Usha has, said a professor of English in Usha's hometown. So in Usha's hometown there is a professor in English, and he said never ever in the history of independent India, okay, yeah, after the independent India, there were no other people, no other youngsters, okay, from the remote background towns of India who got this much of fame like Usha. Okay, so though she was from very rural background, from a remote background, though she was from the completely poor family backgrounds, she believed in her hard work. She started doing miracles and she achieved her success in her life. So never ever we have to complain about her remote background. So just like that, we also should not just complain saying I'm from rural background that I can't do this. No. So when we practice more, when we focus more, we can achieve more. So once you start practicing, once you start focusing on little things and practice more, even you can also do miracles like P.T Usha. And here we have glossary: instinctive, arising from natural ability, okay, like natural thing. Next, vigorously, working with strength and energy. Puny, small and weak, little girl. Okay, next, earnest, serious. Serenity, calmness. Enhance, to make the greater or better. Okay, so this is the lesson of P.T Usha, the golden girl. And after reading the lesson, you can just see the picture here, the way that she runs on the track. Okay, so she might be running too fast. Okay, just with this picture we can understand how talented she was. Okay, so in the next videos we shall go through reading B, that is a poem Indian cricket team. So before leaving the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share it to your friends so that they can also get the knowledge of this explanation. So I shall see you in the next video. Until then, take care. God bless you.